we agreed to forget who we are and where we come from so that we could have the freedom and the opportunity to create who we want to be, who we want to become. And I also believe that we agreed that our memories would start to come online at certain points as a result of certain events or meeting certain people or doing certain things, and that each time we do this, it would help us expand further. This is the Energy Within podcast, helping you to embrace your weirdness, find the confidence to be your true self, and fully step into your soul's purpose. My name is Carrie Jokala. I am your host. I am a Reiki master teacher, a fitness instructor, a wife, a mom to 2 little boys, and this is episode 154, I think. And if it sounds a little different today, and if you hear a lot of background noise, it's because this is coming to you courtesy of my iPhone in my car, because this has been a crazy week, and I'm recording this on a day when I should be editing it. So this is going to be a somewhat short one for 2 reasons. One, I'm still a little emotional because I just dropped off our son at kindergarten, using the car line for the first time instead of walking him inside. And I have a short drive back to the house. So I'm doing it this way just because the days are still crazy right now. So I don't know if I would be able to record at home. So now that I am alone, I figured I would use my time as wisely as possible. Even though I really just need to cry right now, but that's fine. Everything's fine. I wanted to talk about this idea of when people say they're broken or you feel broken, whether that's physically, emotionally, or spiritually. And I guess I'm still working on reconciling this idea of brokenness, because I know what it feels like when you say that you feel broken. I know what it feels like for your heart to be broken. My heart's a little broken right now this morning. But in the sense of our energy body, physically, yes, we can break. Emotionally, yes, our heart can break. Our emotions can feel broken. We can feel broken and disconnected spiritually, but in an energetic sense, overall, and in reality, I don't believe we are ever broken the way that we describe broken. I believe that we can become blocked, that we can become closed off. For example, our chakras can get smaller instead of being the same open size that they should be. They can get too big. So that might not really be a block, but that could be too open, which can lead to a lack of boundaries, which can lead to more emotional pain. But I don't believe that we're ever actually broken in that sense. Is it okay to label yourself as feeling broken? Sure. If that's how you feel, and those are the words that make the most sense to describe how you're feeling, then use them. But I think the important thing to remember is that you're never truly broken. And if you can see that when you're feeling that way, it might make a really big difference in how quickly you can move through those feelings and come out the other side. If you know that there's never actually anything wrong with you, and that if something does feel wrong, it can be fixed. You can heal. You can move on. You can get better. Then I think that can help speed the process up. Of course, it depends on what the situation is and how quickly that process would even move in the first place. But maybe even if it's still a long process, it would still be quicker than if you didn't hang on to that realization, to that truth that you are not broken. Even if you feel disconnected, you feel off, you never really are. It comes down to a blockage, and it just needs to be removed. So maybe we don't need to think about healing in that sense that we need to be healed, we need to be fixed, but rather we just need to be opened again. Maybe I should have chosen a less bumpy road for my ride back home, so hopefully my voice isn't too shaky. I'll find out in editing. This is so bumpy. But I think the biggest issue with any blockages that we have in any chakras, and there are more than just the 7 main chakras. I do not know much of anything about the other chakras, but I know that there's more. There are some minor chakras too around our entire bodies. But no matter where we're talking about, any of these blockages, that's when we feel the disconnect. And that's what causes us to forget who we really are and where we really come from. And that's okay, because that's all part of the game that we agreed to play when we decided to come here. We agreed to forget who we are and where we come from so that we could have the freedom and the opportunity to create who we want to be, who we want to become. And I also believe that we agreed that our memories would start to come online at certain points as a result of certain events or meeting certain people or doing certain things, and that each time we do this, it would help us expand further. It's all about soul expansion. So our soul, our true essence, is never broken. We're simply learning, creating. I don't think we're discovering who we are. Maybe in the sense that, we forgot that we are a divine being. We're a soul who decided to come here and have a human experience. But on this path, on this journey of this human experience, we get to decide along the way. We get to create who we want to be. So that's one reason why I believe we can never truly break. We just keep reaching different levels of the game. We have different levels of remembering. And then maybe we even have moments where I don't think we can forget again necessarily, maybe in some situations, but we can have instances that cause us to go back into a comfort zone and maybe not so much go backwards, but stall, because it's scary to move forward. It's scary to expand while we're in this human form. But once we clear the blockages, once we go in and we do the energy work that needs to be done for our energy bodies to clear everything back up, then we can be filled with that divine energy again, which is pure, divinely sourced love. Once we have that again, we feel that connection again, we can have that remembering, we can have that peace, because we remember that we come from divine love, which means we are divine love. If you can tap into that, I think that's when we can experience true happiness and peace. How long we can maintain it is another question. But again, that's all part of the journey. And this good vibes only, high vibes only, where you're not allowed to ever not be in that feeling is, in my opinion, not a good mantra to subscribe to, because that can lead you to those moments where then you're pretending to be happy, you're pretending to be high vibe when you're really not, and you're just masking and covering up. And that's going to create more blockages. That's going to cut more off in your connection. So don't fault yourself. Don't think of yourself as a failure. Don't think of yourself as broken if you're ever not in a high vibe feeling all the time, because we're still human. So we do still need to have one foot in reality and be realistic about what we're feeling, why we're feeling it, what we need to do about it. But we also can't forget about the spiritual side, the energy side. There's that balance again, that all of it needs to be attended to. We can't ignore the physical, we can't ignore the mental and emotional, and we can't ignore the spiritual. If we ignore any of them, that is one step to creating blockages. So if we remember and we tap back in and we make sure we're taking care of the part of us that needs attention in that moment, and it's okay if it's physical, it's okay if it's something physical that needs attention. Oftentimes we look at attending to the physical as being weak, falling prey to being human again. But that's not weakness. That's a very valid part of us that needs to be taken care of too. But just don't forget to check in with the energetic side, because there's always an energetic root. Always. I'm done saying most of the time. It's always. So I'm just about home, so that's where I'm going to wrap it up. I hope that my thoughts made sense, because this is my first time doing a driving podcast. So, oh, look, a bunny rabbit. All right, I'm going to go inside and cry now. And if you enjoyed this, if something resonated, please share it. Do a screenshot or a screen flow, post it up on your Instagram or your Facebook. Tag me on Instagram. I am Carrie Jokala. Let me know what stuck out to you. Make sure you hop inside the Energy Within Facebook group. And if you're interested in starting to learn Reiki, or you're ready for level 2 because you're already level 1 certified, please reach out to me. I do not have a set group that I'm going to be running for Reiki 1, but we can always do a one-on-one, or if I do have a couple people that have interest at the same time, we can do a group together if you'd like to do that. So reach out to me with questions and for details. If you are ready for level 2 and you're looking for a teacher, I have a group starting on September 15th. And we are going to meet every Thursday, with the exception of 1 week, for minimum of 5, a possibility of 6 classes. This is the first time I'm running a Reiki 2, so we'll figure it out. If we need extra time, we'll add on that 6th class. But we're going to meet every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Time. If you can't make a class, they are all recorded, so you can always watch the recording and catch up later. And with both Reiki 1 and Reiki 2, I, at the current moment, include a one-on-one Reiki session as well for you to either experience a Reiki session if you have not yet, but you know that you're led to Reiki. That's how I was. I hadn't really ever experienced Reiki before I started learning it. But also, then once you're in level 2, I feel like you still need that to be a receiver, to experience how it feels at that next level, to also still receive, and to help you continue to become the clearest channel to deliver the Reiki. So, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And I will see you next time.